listen, you know what I mean? Yeah,
I was just trying to get that out.
Nah, we good.
Let me have one of your biscuits, please.
Yeah.
We gonna set this thing off, man. You are back with another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast, available everywhere you get your podcasts. Welcome into the video version. Right off top, man, shout out to District 9 for pulling up and making this thing happen this way. Definitely wanted to do it this way for this episode. You're gonna hear a familiar voice if you've been listening to the Klyph Notes podcast for a while. But a couple things just off top, man, want to let y'all make sure that y'all folk know about. Of course, you know that I'm a part of the No Request crew, so we're still doing our situation every fourth Sunday over at the White Eagle Saloon. We got some themed events coming up this for the remainder of the year. Of course, we're going to do our toy drive in November. That's the No Request is for the Children situation, the Wu-Tang tribute. We're doing a native tongue joint in August. We got the Versus joint coming up. We might be doing, I don't even know now, but I think we might be doing a vinyl only situation, so you can check that out. By the time this drops, the first phase of the VST will probably be done with the vinyl store tour with myself, DJ Ambush, and DJ OG1. Shout out to the record stores that have hosted us, man. 503 Records, we had a chance to kick it off there on Record Store Day. Specs Records, we definitely coming back to Specs Records. That was a really, really good time. And then we'll be at Prospector Records for the final tour stop in phase 1. So check us out, man. The videos will be online. Shout out to Aloha Got Soul. Just today they dropped the video of my set in Hawaii. That was super, super dope. Thank y'all so much. You don't know what you've done. You've started. I mean, it's really the genesis of VST, man. So go check that video out right now, Aloha Got Soul. If you're in Hawaii, go check out the spot. It's a dope, dope spot. And then really, really excited to let y'all know, June the 1st, things about to change, man. June the 1st, be on the lookout, man. Roses and Bridges Radio. We're bringing a brand new radio station fresh out of Portland, Oregon. Now, notice I didn't say radio show. 24/7 music, news, talk. A brand new radio station. Super, super excited to bring this to y'all, man. It's something that we've been working on for a while. I really feel honored and privileged to build with someone who has done this, built a radio station from the ground up. And so if you know, you know. But Roses and Bridges Radio is dropping June the 1st. Look for all kinds. It's another great platform for artists like the artists that we're about to talk to here in a minute. But that's coming, man. So tap in for that. So doing this episode is really, really cool for me for a number of reasons. In great part, just because I'm a fan of hip hop and being really embraced by the Portland music scene. Have had a chance to get to know and build with the scene in a really special way. So like I said, a familiar voice on a previous episode of the Klyph Notes podcast, I had a chance to do an interview with someone who is really just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the scene. We're in his space right now. We are in Sloth City Studios, and that's none other than DJ Zone. What up, family?
Hey, what's up?
Man,
how you doing?
I'm good, bro. Welcome back to the podcast, bro.
Yeah, always great. Always happy.
That's what you are, and you are, bro. No doubt. And then a conversation I've been wanting to have on this platform for so long. I've had a chance to host him on the Welcome to the Neighborhood radio show. Had a chance to rock a few shows with him with Runaway Productions, and he's such a wonderful spirit, and it's really cool to be able to. I'm gonna say to call him a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Sleep of Oldominion on the Klyph Notes podcast. What's good, bro?
What's up, Klyph? We've been already WhatsApping while we're setting up.
Man, it's so dope to be able to have this conversation. So I just want to dive in, bro.
Yeah, man.
So I was telling Ambush when we were loading in, it's crazy for me because this building is very significant to me in terms of my connection to the local scene. So when I first moved to Portland, I feel like it was probably something that went up on MySpace or something, and they were like, "Yo, we're having this gathering at the Hacienda, so anybody can pull up." So I pulled up, I came through, and Zone, I do remember that you were doing what you do, and you had some tables set up. Yeah. I hadn't met you yet, but I know I saw you doing your thing. I met Josh Martinez, and he was like, "Yo," and I just told him, "Yo, I'm new to the scene. I'm trying to get connected." Woo, woo. And he said, "Let me introduce you to," and he introduced me to this young kid who dapped me up and was like, "Yeah, man, good to meet you. I'm about to go play ball." And that was Tope. Yeah. That's when I first met Tope. But this space was like, okay, this is
Yeah, it's a hub.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
And the
it's
fact that it's still here, I think, is really dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's taken on many stages. Like before it was here, it was on Sandwich Street for like 20 years before. It's been a institution in Portland at this point. You know, like it's a staple.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the hip hop community for the last 30 years have been recording here, mixing their stuff here, and really getting a chance to. It's like a hub for expression.
Yeah.
You know, and all different walks of life too. Like every kind of MC from every style, every genre, every subgenre. We've done it here.
And I think that's I find that to be so true, is that there is such a representation of the subgenres of hip hop that I've seen, particularly in this environment, which I think is very interesting. It's very, I think to a great degree, very unique, and it's one of the things I know that we talked about. You know, for me, I've always tried to be, with my platform, someone who is, you know, everybody's welcome, even if it's a style that I don't necessarily connect with. Yeah. But I have seen that with what comes through here, you get a little bit of alternative, a little bit of boom bap, a little bit of hardcore, a little bit of
everything.
Yeah.
And we end up loving it. And then we have like our secret favorites that are kind of like our inside thing. I'll be like, hey, will you play the happy, like the happy, like what do I always say, trappers? Will you play those nice trappers again, bro? That are positive.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? They'd be like, oh yeah, I love them too. There's like, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of different music that comes here. Like Zone works with a variety of people, and Zeb does, and you got Prince. So like between all the engineers here, they're bringing in all kinds of artists.
Everyone.
So
like everybody who's like doing something seriously, I feel like in Portland, comes through here at some point.
At some point,
whether they like record here all the time, or they like, you know, record here for like features for other people's stuff, or they come through. Everyone's like aware of it. It's like this is like a staple that's connected,
which is
to
good,
all
because
of it,
like you want to figure out what your what your part to play for the community is, right? Like you got people like Mike Crenshaw who are like voices and educators and you know, they're doing like protests and leading in that sense, you know, and our goal has always been community based, how we can help people. Like clearly Zone and I are not the toughest of characters, but we'll get in the mix, we'll get in the trenches. We will. You know, like we're warriors for the causes, you know, in the community. Like it goes way beyond just us as like people and artists. It's especially now more than ever, it's we got to build the scene back up and reclaim it, because you know there's a lot of powerful people and influencers that like want to dumb it down so it's not a instrument of growth anymore. Because I was like, when I was young, hip hop was my teacher. I think I learned how to maneuver in life from all my teachers, which were the hip hop heads, you know. And then somewhere along the lines, like I think like the powers that be see how powerful of a tool that is, and they don't want us to have that kind of power and influence over society. So they start dumbing it down, and they start like only signing groups that talk about certain subjects. Like there's alternatives to all these things, and then they get it into where now it's a vibe. You don't even care about the lyrical content of it anymore, and you know it's about the beat and the vibe of it, which is dope. Like we all love the beats. That's natural. We're animals that like feel that rhythm, you know. But like the lyrical content, I feel like that's where they've really put a lot of energy into making sure those potent lyrics don't make their way out anymore. Like I've been feeling suppressed for like 30 years.
But you know, Sleep, I think that's a very common theme. I mean, I think that's a story that we hear often, that many artists say, artists of a certain generation, that my early teachers were the creators. Hip hop was my, you know, that's where I learned history. That's where I learned art. Everything. That's where I learned religion from hip hop. So for you, when do you feel like for you it transitioned from being that student to being in a position of being a teacher?
I probably last year, bro. Honestly, I turned 50, and I realized like, man, I've been rapping my whole entire life, 45 years. I started when I was 5 years old. You know, like when Jam On It, Nucleus. You know, remember that break dancing vinyl that had like the instructions? Wicked was just talking about it the other day. That was like that Wax had Jam On It. It had a whole bunch of things, but like Wiz Kid, all these other MCs on it. But Nucleus, Jam On It. It was because I was a little kid and it cussed. And I used to like it. I don't need no ground. I won't say it, but you know what I mean? It was like, as a little kid, that was funny to me. And so like I would just learn how to say it because we would meet at my great grandpa's house, my Aunt Loogie's house, and all my cousins were, and that's her real name for anybody who wants to say it in a battle. I'm just kidding. I got you. Right. No, but like, all my cousins used to b-boy, and my cousin Jude was sick. And so everybody would come and battle there. They had like this piece of linoleum that they cut out, and I could b-boy. And I was like the little kid, secret weapon, so they'd always put me in. I'd start killing it, hit some power moves. Everybody, But then I started like rapping the stuff, and I ended up liking that way more. And it became like how I identify. I started doing my own lyrics. And then my parents always had like marital problems, so I was always bouncing around, and moved to Farmington, New Mexico, where I met Henri. And I was kind of an awkward kid, and so I came to school with my ghetto blaster, and I just was sitting on the playground by myself playing Run DMC because I didn't know how to make friends. Right. And I was like, oh, I hate everybody. I'm going to serve everybody. Come and battle. I mean, nobody was breakdancing or anything back then. And Henri does walk up to me, though, with his little crew, and he's like, how do you know about Run DMC? I'm like, what do you mean? I know everything about Run DMC. They're my favorite group. He's like, only around here, only I know about Run DMC. And like for the next year, we were Run DMC. Like he was DMC, I was Run, and we spit all their lyrics like back and forth. And whenever we were together, we just listened. I bring my ghetto blaster. That's why he has that song called New Mexico Ghetto Blaster or something. Ghetto
Blaster with the TV.
With the TV, because I used to have this little TV. It was like that old school Emerson one. They had the TV in it, and I used to put my Nintendo on it and everything. You know what I mean? Like, because we were too poor to have like a big TV. But in my room, that's probably why I'm having a hard time seeing these days.
That's so crazy. And it's funny because I forgot that you and Henri go back that far.
Oh, he's been my best friend since I was 10 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and we've been rapping together since day one. So I just turned 50. I'm going to be 51 in June. So that means we've been rapping together for 40 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 40 years, bro. Like, that's as a group, unstoppable. Like, Oracle's Creed, from Code 505 to Oracle's Creed. I used to be Kid Crush. He used to be D-Tech. Like, I don't even know why he was D-Tech. He didn't even have a D in his name. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have, like, the teachers in real life because we came from New Mexico. We grew up, like, by the reservation. Different sides of town, like, but we went to the same school, and it was just a different lifestyle. Like we didn't have the advancements that other places had. Like we were behind like decades, I think. You know, like I don't even think we got gravel on the road I lived on until last year. They put gravel on that road because we used to live in the hood in the south side, like where roads, there's not even street lights. Like at nighttime, all you hear is gunshots and no police.
Wow,
you know?
That's the thing. That's the thing that stood out to me because we were on tour and I mentioned it to him because I was like, we were in Oakland like a week or two before, and that was that was the thing that stood out to me because I was like, in Oakland you'll hear gunshots, but then you hear like sirens like 20-30 seconds later, and in New Mexico it's like you hear pop pop pop,
then you hear
and then just
barking.
silence,
dogs barking,
and you're like, oh, nobody's coming for that. Okay, that is very unsettling.
And it doesn't help that like, it's first experience at my grandma's house. I was like being sentimental with Patrick. I'm like, yo, come out in the backyard and I'm going to show you the bluffs where Christopher's cover is about and this and that. And I was just having a moment, and then my two neighbors start shooting at each other.
And we were like, oh, let's go to the front yard. And we go to the front yard, and guy runs across the lawn with the Uzi. And we're like, maybe let's just stay inside for now. Let's just get inside.
Like my first 10 minutes of like trying to have a moment with Patrick. Just go smoke.
So that you bring up Christopher, and I think about, I feel like before I met you, and I feel like even before I had an understanding or knowledge of Oldominion, I remember Christopher.
Yeah, it made a lot of noise, but I also I had like it was met with like also like one of the weirdest parts of my life. So I was like depressed the whole time that I was on point.
Yeah.
Like I was everywhere. My stuff was in Tower Records.
Yeah.
It was in the stores. For me, because I'm old school head. I'm Gen X all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a dream to be in the stores, in the Hastings, in the Tower Records, you know, like, and I finally did it.
Yeah.
And I was like seeing it in the like listening booths, and it's like you watch yourself like growing. Next thing you know, Tower's like bankrupt. Like there's no more Tower Records, no more Hastings. Yeah. Like I'm still trying to get my record in that last Blockbuster.
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
Just go there and put it in there, and I made it.
Yeah.
And then I'll retire.
So you mentioned Oracle's Creed. These are, you know, some stories I've heard from other folk. We probably talked about it when you were here. I know I've talked about it with Deathstroke quite a bit.
Yeah, because that was the start of us.
Yeah, and that grew into
Oldominion. Yep,
which was just
Oracle's Creed and Frontline met
that merged.
And funny enough, it was at a Farside concert. We met each other at a Farside concert. Like Farside's always been my favorite. I love Farside.
Yeah, that was my first hip hop show that I ever went to. Was a Farside concert.
La Luna. It was at La Luna. They played La Luna. And they had Deftones opening up for them. And there's this little cipher breaks out. Me and Henri were there together, and we were always like Oracle's Creed. We used to just go serve people. That's what we used to do when we were young. You know, you got lots of testosterone, and you're not a fighter. You just want to show everybody that you're a ninja. And so we see these guys ciphering, and they're actually good. So we step in, and next thing you know, it's just like a cipher, almost turning into a battle, like where people are starting to flex a little bit, but they're also like impressed with each other. That was us. We're like, dang, these guys are good, and they're looking at us like, these guys are good too. You know. And then they're like, you have to meet NyQuil. Again, you said his name, NyQuil. Yeah. He's still everybody's favorite in Oldominion. I would say Snafu and NyQuil are the two. They're from the same group. They're secretly everybody's like favorite. You either love Snafu the most or you love NyQuil amongst Oldominion. You know, clearly we all have our own lanes and fans and stuff. But like, I'm Snafu's favorite. He'll tell me, I love, and I don't think I'm even close. You know, but that's just taste.
We like what we like.
Exactly. So anyways, they go get NyQuil, and NyQuil looks like Andre 3000. He's Andre 5000 at this time. His hair is like bleached, and he has this nose ring. He looks like a mix between Del, the funky Homo sapien, and Andre 3000 if they were like merged together. And that's NyQuil. And he's insane dope. And anyways, he ciphers with us. Before you know it, we're like, hey, we want to make music together. And then they were young like us. We were kind of coming up in the scene. You know, there was the, not gatekeepers, but the OGs that were really doing most of the shows. You had like Lifesavers and Cool Nuts. And in Seattle was like Source of Labor and just different. It was like the same thing. The big homies, we're from a younger generation. And they were putting us on. We're just kind of stepping into the scene. We had Seattle, they had Portland. So we made this unity. Like they came to Seattle, we made some songs, and the music just was different than anything we ever made. And so everybody was excited. Instantly, we started a crew.
So you were in Seattle at the time?
I was in Seattle. Seattle, Pale Soul, myself, Sleep, and Henri. We were Oracle's Creed in Seattle. Then you had the front line in Portland, which was NyQuil, Snafu, and Destro. And we met at that concert, and after that we exchanged info. They started rolling to Seattle and recording with us. We started coming to Portland and recording with them. And before you know it, we're like, hey, let's just merge. Well, our show's in Seattle, you guys come up, and then your show's in Portland, we'll come down. We started like jumping on stage with each other, and then we weren't really clever enough to come up with the name of our group, so we just started calling ourselves the Six, because then there was the 7 of us, and then there was 8 of us, and they'd be like, okay, this show is only gonna have the 6, next show's gonna have the 9, and then the next show after that we're gonna have the 12. You know what I mean? It was always the groups, like, because it was first Oracle's Creed and Frontline. There were 6 of us, and then you had like Bishop, you had Socrates, Anaxagoras. He was Socrates at the time. You had him. You have PG-13. You have Sindel. You know,
I just saw PG
Ruben
at the Contest show.
Rochester AP. You know, like Gash, like the people that you know as Oldominion. You had the younger parts of our crew that weren't so much the forefront. Like the people who were getting put on at this time were Oracle's Creed and Frontline, but we were like expanding. We wanted to get bigger and bring all these.
Because you said Ruben, and that his name is very. Did Ruben come up with the name?
He did. Yeah. Okay. We were already a crew way before it. We went through name changes. Right. We used to be Society of Shadows. I still have a shirt that says SOS on it, and it has the logo of it. Before the owl, it was Society of Shadows. I told you we were trying to figure out a name forever. Right. We were like the 6, then we were the 12. Mm-hmm. Then we were the 13, and then there was the 16.
So crazy.
And now we would be like the 88.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing is that it seems like Old Dominion is like
large,
thick.
Yeah. It is thick.
Yeah,
it's very thick, and it's a family more than it is a hip hop collective.
It's like a West Coast Wu-Tang.
Yeah,
it just like keeps getting bigger with time, and like the family's expanded.
And it had so much impact on like the younger generations, like Sand People. My little brother. He was the person who came with the name Sand People. It was like he had that name in his group Seattle, and then him and Moby and those guys linked up. I Am Me. My brother's John the Baptist, and then he had a falling out. But now my brother has autism. And I'm sure that didn't lend a hand in like communication. He didn't even know at the time. He would erupt out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So, anyways, they went their own ways. They're cool and amicable. Amicable. There we go. Yeah, whatever.
But see, I mean, even with that, bro. So like again, coming in, I moved to Portland in '94, so I knew, I learned about Old Dominion, I learned about Sand People, and I've always been a fan of crews.
Mm-hmm.
And then crews that break out, and then you have like the little side projects, but they're all crew. And it's interesting because I feel like, and then to be honest with you, I think I knew of Lifesavers, but. In terms of crews, I knew of Old Dominion and Sand People before I even knew of Misfit Massive. Like I learned the Misfit Massive story way later.
Yeah. They were our big homies. And like Verse, I think Verse.
I just saw Verse the
amazing.
Other day too.
Like to this very day, Verse is my favorite MC.
Oh, at the show we played with Homeboy Sandman.
Yep, exactly.
Rob Sonic.
I love Verse. Not only as a human being, but as an MC. I look up to him. He's one of those guys that like. Ever since I was a kid, he was dropping those bars that I could not believe he would say.
Yeah.
I remember, you could have bet your luck if you were a leprechaun wearing shamrock boxers. I remember that was one of his bars when I was just like, what? No. You know what I mean? Like, I think trying to have those people be your teachers and your mentors, it sets the bar really high for what you consider good.
Yes.
And so like when you have them as your big homies, like it just went a long way. We used to rock lots of shows with them. There was a real cool unity between like, the Joss Siri camp and all that same world here in Portland and our circle in Portland, and that just became like a unity thing. I mean, we ended up like Kareem, he's like a bridge maker, so like we ended up touring with Cool Nuts, and like our scenes would like smash into each other, and we helped each other come up. And some people were smarter about their business, like Cool Nuts, when they were able to expand and do multi things, which I've always like respected him to the highest level. He was one of the very first people I ever met in the Northwest, like you. I came from the Southwest, and I played. I didn't play. I went to Town Hall with Jeff Gianola. and it was, I saw this.
He used to come to Hewers when I did magic back in the day.
And it was like I saw it on the news. I was living in Kelso. Like when I moved to the Northwest, I didn't even move to a city. I moved to Kelso because my mom and my stepdad, they had a job at Trojan, that nuclear power plant, and this is where we landed from New Mexico. I hated it, man. But I was like watching the news or TV, and there was this advertisement. It was like Town Hall with Jeff Gianola, and they were going to talk about hip hop in Portland. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm going.
Gotta be there.
Dude, I still somewhere have this video. I raised my hand the entire hour and never get called on. I was just like, was it cool enough? But then I met Cool Nuts that night, and I met like what were they called? Oh, they were dope. Soul Rhythm Soldiers. You remember? They're from Portland. They were an old school group. It was this guy named Sting the Renegade, Brown Hornet, like all these, Sly, bro. Like that's that whole genre. Like that's when like Criminal G's were doing their stuff, and Cool Nuts was young. He had just had the one where he's in the wife beater by the car, like he's all skinny and stuff, like young. That's the age group. I was taking a bus. I was like 17, taking a bus back to New Mexico. I was taking a train, and that was the album I bumped was Cool Nuts record. I listened to that in my headset the entire trip, and I was like, wow, this guy's... Oh, you can cuss. I almost... No, I'm not going to cuss. I'm trying to practice.
Okay, good.
I'm like, he's dope. You know?
Yeah.
And he's always been a good friend to me. we've always built.
Yeah.
He put us on over here. If it wasn't for Cool Nuts, I don't know who we would have built with. You know, like he was one of the makers of this town.
Yeah.
Like, he's always put it down. So that
you were just talking about teachers. I was thinking about this. This is what, like, going back to what we were talking before we started rolling about, like, I feel like that's the thing that for whatever reason got lost in the younger generation is, like, our generation, we had, like, the older homies that were our teachers that we looked up to, and we were like, holy shit, how do I become that? I can't ever, and it pushed you to get better.
Yeah.
And I feel like the younger generation saw that. They grew up with the, like, Tupacs and Eminems and looking at this stuff and like, I could never be that. And so they just started their own completely other lane that had nothing to do with, you know, it's like, this is not even hip hop anymore. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
So that you can't compare it. So it's like, you can't put it in the same conversation. So they did that instead of, like, trying to step up and get better to get to that level. They were just like, well, we're just going to do something totally different. Yeah. Which every generation has its own thing and, like, way of approaching it. But I think that's, like, the difference. I feel like that's the thing that happened for whatever reason with that generation versus, like, our generation and, like, older is, like, we saw it and it pushed us to, like, well, how can I get to be that?
I thought it was drugs.
Yeah.
Like,
that could be part of it too.
I thought, like, wow, people are kind of burnt. Like, they started getting into different things. Remember, I was telling you, like, the scene's getting weird, man. People are going to the bathroom a lot now. That's not hip hop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we learned don't smoke crack is bad. Stay away from this stuff. You
but
know,
I think a lot of that goes to what you said at the beginning of the conversation, though, is that
teachers,
those messages of how do I elevate, how do I be the best version of human being that I can be. And you don't do that by engaging in a lot of these things that bring around sort of the lower frequencies.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like when we were coming up, the drug dealers were rappers, and now the younger generation is the drug users are rappers, and like that's like the thing that's like weird and different.
I freestyled this song. One day just goofing off with Zone. How long is like a 3 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute freestyle, something like that,
or something.
So I can freestyle, and sometimes I can freestyle like it's a song. But I wanted to just kind of rap about like how dumb it sounds like to be like that bad on drugs. So I started this rap about how I do all the drugs, and it just progressed into like, before you know it, so like silly. I was eating human meat and like all kinds of stuff. And then fast forward to now, and you turn on the Epstein files and they're eating human meat. You know what I mean? Like, what the heck? Bro. And I don't think people are mad enough about this, you know, personally. I'm like, all right, y'all.
We've normalized.
Yes. Craziness. It's not even normalized. I think it's just too much for people to comprehend. Because I know that in real life, if there was a room full of people and you saw these weird rich people fucking... Oh, see? I screwed it up. You see them, like, carving into a kid, a baby, in front of you, your animal instincts are gonna kick in, and you're gonna tear those people limb from limb. You're gonna pull their arms out their bodies, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just words. It's just words, and it's redacted, and it's like they've made this thing so tribal that like, it's just something the Dems are saying. This is just something the Republicans are saying. They're turning it into political stuff. It's not political, guys. Like, it's people, human stuff. It's humans and it's people and everybody. I bet you 99.9% of people who will hear this are on this side of the scale of things. That 0.1% of persons that's going to hear this is probably my friend that's going to listen to this podcast. Shout out Alex.
So we're probably gonna have to do a part 3 and a part 4. There's so many stories. There's so many stories. Okay, so
for weeks.
Oldominion, and then where does the Chicharrones come from?
Chicharrones. I met Josh Martinez at South by Southwest. I actually met him before that. So I was. There's a little history here. So Soul from Anticon. I did a show with Soul and Dose. We became friends. Me and Soul start talking on the phone. I'm going to tell this one fast. So I helped him start 6 months distribution. I found him the investor. We laid the framework and the groundwork out together. And then it was going to be distribution for Anticon and Oldominion. And it was. That's how we put our records out. We had this distribution company. what was the original question? Because I feel like I'm digressing.
How does the Chicharrones?
Oh yeah. So Soul was in my ear about Martinez. He was part of Anticon.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, I want to do a 12-inch with my guy Josh Martinez. I think your guys' voices will go really well together." He heard it before I even knew who Josh was.
Yeah.
And then they were gonna put Ryu on the B side. There was gonna be two sides of the album. Ryu from Styles of Beyond. From Styles of Beyond, he was gonna be on one side, and then me and Josh and myself were gonna be on the other side.
Yeah.
Never happened. Fast forward, Anticon plays a show at the Hub in Seattle, and it's like all of Anticon's like Sage Francis, it's Josh Martinez, Soul, Dose, everybody's there, Alias, and it's a show with Oldominion too. It was actually a dope show. I think it was like Oldominion, Living Legends, Anticon, if I remember right.
Wow.
And it was like a heady show.
Yeah.
And Sage was having technical issues, and Sage was my boy because I had already went to when he was working on Personal Journals. I went and visited Soul in Oakland. He was staying there writing it, and we just hit it off.
Yeah.
You know, we became friends, and so I was already like excited to see Sage perform. And he started having like technical issues, and then Josh came and started like beatboxing for him and stuff. And he walks up with this like looking like Justin Timberlake and these little perfect dreads, and like, and I heard his name Martinez, and like I was like, wait a minute. He's not a Martinez. What is going on here? And I instantly didn't like him. Right. I was like, oh. But then, like, I went and met him afterwards, and he was like really nice. And I was like, I'm just a jerk. Like, I'm just, he's probably like Spanish. I hadn't made up my mind yet because I didn't get his joke at the time. And I was very insecure and sensitive, and I'm a Mexican dude, so I'm like, you're not a Martinez. You know what I mean? Now I bang for people. Yeah, he is. Right. Although that's another story. I literally was like, he's something.
Somewhere in there.
I was like, with your fake Mexican group. And I was like, there's nothing fake about it, bro. Right. And he's like, I know your partner's real name. And he was like, he wasn't talking about me.
Right. No,
he was
not at all.
And he's like, he's Jewish. He's not even Latino. And I was like, he's something.
You just don't know. On the low. For real.
But all of us are. That's what I was thinking. Like, dude, I did my ancestry. I didn't even know it, bro. Like, I'm walking around way more confident. Like, yo, I have no Western European. No, I'm just kidding.
That's crazy. So then, how did you link with the Chicharrones?
So I met them. So I started DJing for Sleep first.
Okay.
And then when I first heard about Chicharrones, Phil, the owner of the building,
shout out Phil.
He was the first person who mentioned Chicharrones to me, and we had a show at Burbati's Pan, and I was DJing for Sleep. I'd been maybe DJing for Sleep for like couple months.
Okay.
It was still super
It was a roller coaster. It was a shotgun wedding.
Yeah. And here's the craziest part about it is there's so many layers to this stuff. But so I had heard, he was like, oh, you haven't heard the Chicharrones? And I was like, the Chico what? What's I don't know what that is. And he's like, oh, dude, you got to hear the Chicharrones. They're awesome. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And so Josh came down from Canada to visit, and then we did this show at Burbati's, and I'd already been DJing for Sleep, so it was like a natural, like, oh yeah, you can just DJ for us. And maybe 5-6 years before that, my roommate at the time was like the like O-Day like downloading dude. Like if you wanted something that, he downloaded everything before torrents were like a thing. He was the guy that like was on the internet getting all the stuff. And so when I first started scratching, I was like, give me like all your favorite beats on a CD that I can just like practice to. And so he gave me this CD full of like random underground hip hop beats, and I would like practice scratching to like all these different beats. One of the beats was Guys Like Me.
Okay.
But I'd never heard the song. I just like had this beat, and I learned how to scratch. One of the beats was the Guys Like Me beat that I like learned how to do chirps on and stuff like that. And I'd spend hours like scratching over that beat. And so I DJ'd for this show at Burbati's, and I'm hearing all these songs for the first time ever on stage DJing for them. And when that song came on, the Guys Like Me beat started, I remember just being like, oh, I know exactly how to scratch this beat. I learned how to scratch on this beat. I didn't even know this was. I'd never heard this song before. I didn't even know this was a song, but I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly what to do with this.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that was the first time I met the Chicharrones. And then we all just kind of instantly hit it off. I got off stage. The first thing Josh said to me, we got off stage, and Josh was like, "Smokes, let's go." And I was like, "What? This fucking asshole!"
Yeah.
He just
Plus, Zone and I, we kind of come as a pair. Josh didn't have a choice at this point. Like, if he would have said no, it wouldn't have mattered anyways. So we're like, okay, we're bringing 2 DJs on tour because Zone and I, we're.
Yeah,
we done a tour in a smart car.
Yeah, totally. But we all bring like the best out in each other. I feel like we all bring the silly out in each other. It's like Sleep and Josh got together, and I feel like Josh pulled more silly out of Sleep because Sleep was like more technical and serious, and your like solo music was like more dark and heavy. And then you got together with Josh and kind of started doing fun, silly stuff, and started tapping into depressive. You started tapping into the like funny, silly side though of you, also of your personality. Yeah. But then I got in the mix and I put it over.
Host
the top
is trying to speak.
Into the most silly.
No, but you bring up a thought, right? So, like I said, bro, there's so much stuff to. There's so many, like you said, so many layers to it.
Yeah.
But you know, when I think about today, like where you are right now, and you know, Sleep, you have been somewhat elusive.
Pretty elusive. I was going through some mental struggles. I caught this really, really bad case of like emo artist.
Yeah.
And like everything I made was driving me crazy. So I wasn't releasing anything.
Yeah.
And then because I wasn't releasing it, I wasn't getting much exercise touring. I put on like 100 extra pounds.
Yeah.
And then I got in my head and didn't want to be in public.
Yeah.
So I disappeared from everybody.
Yeah.
And just stayed miserable making songs. The only one who saw me was DJ Zone.
Yeah.
I'd call him and be like, all right, I'm ready to come out of my house. He would make me, actually. I'm not going to even lie. Yeah. He would come to my house and it would take an hour for him to motivate me to leave it to go to the studio to record.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because for the longest time we were recording in the basement. Yeah. And at a certain point, like when I had the SM7, we were recording in the basement and stuff. And then I got the 500 rack and the U87. And I started really setting up like the studio here. And I was like, we really should go to the studio. Like I can bring stuff, but I have to bring so much more stuff to set it up down here. And I was like, you really should come to the studio.
I'm a special brand of stubborn.
Yeah. And so it really took me a while to kind of convince him to get out and come to the studio because I was like, it's so much better. We'll be away from everything, so we won't be distracted. Yeah. Like family stuff and things. And then we're at the studio and everything's set up and ready to go there. And like the way,
is at my house?
You know, it's like,
you're not getting it.
It's a circus.
It's chaos. It's chaos. I have kids and teenagers and animals and a wife and like.
And then I was like, trust me, it's going to be so much better. We'll get you out of that and then here to the studio where we can just focus and just do the thing we do. Yeah. And it's just
And I had a personal revelation on my own, which is I am the worst artist to be a fan of. And I started thinking about it one day. I was like, dang it. I would be so mad at my artists that I loved if I loved their music. Like, because I'm the kind of artist that I don't feel like playing that song. And it could be my most popular song. And I don't think of it like that. I think of it like, I hate playing this song and I'm not going to play this song. And so I won't. And then when I do, I remember why. Like one time I played Angelique. It's always requested. It's from my first album. And we're in Colorado. We play it. And then this girl is like stripping on and twerking to a song about abuse of a girl. You know what I mean? I was like, it doesn't really fit. Right. And like I know this, and so I kind of cut things out of my set, but people request these things, and I don't take requests. I'm like, I'm trying to be a better steward of my own music, so that way, like, I give back to the people who like actually support me. You know, and I'm a terrible person to be a fan of, and like this is what I decided. You know, like, and like I'm sitting on 1,000 songs.
Yeah.
Like I really, and they're not like bad songs or something.
They're all really good.
I just don't like want to release them.
So the reason that I went down that road is because, you know, when you describe the music that was made, that you know, Sleep being more of the like I think of you as like you could be, you think about somebody who's really MC, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like technical. He's a spitter.
1,000%.
He's like a technical spitter.
And then I get the opportunity to listen to what's about to drop.
Yeah.
I get to listen to Seasons.
And it's like,
and I'm like, what the heck, yo?
Yeah.
Like, not at all sad, not at all like introspective in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I didn't want to be whiny, man. Like, but there's nothing to cry about. I'm not a victim.
It's different. It's that. Well, this record, it's like it's tapping into something. It's why we wanted to put this record first. Put this record out first before like some of the other stuff we have.
I had to do some spiritual work, man.
Yeah,
I had to give it up to God.
Yeah,
I had to pray,
and this record is current sounding. I think
that's what it was.
The first time that, like, we were talking about this the other day. It's like, for the longest time, we're kind of like ahead of the curve. And I've been saying this for years. We're like 10, 20 years ahead of what everyone else is doing. I was saying this 20 years ago, where I was like, the stuff we're doing now, people aren't going to really understand for like 10 or 20 years. Because we're a little too far ahead of the curve of what everyone else is doing.
Not the curve, but the progression.
Like, the progression of stuff.
We wanted to skip past what everybody was doing and just get ahead of it.
And like, how do we make the crazy stuff? And so we were doing stuff 20 years ago that now, right on cue, 20 years later, people are finally starting to catch up to stuff we were doing like 20 years ago. Yeah, and like it's like, oh, I was right. It was totally just like right, in the scope of things. But this is the first time I think we've done a record that sounds like right now. It doesn't sound like future alien music, weird stuff that people can't grasp onto. And it's like, it just sounds like exactly what's happening right now. And so we were like, we need to like put this out right now.
And then we'll release the follow-up, because I have a whole concept album that is... It's ready to go on the back burner. Like we're re-recording the vocals, the main leads and stuff. I wanted to change some of the lyrics and stuff, but besides that, it's like ready to go. And this record, it's very technical and chock full of like lyrics and big music soundscapes. It's kind of like a Chicharrone's record where I went with like lots of bridges and melodies. And in fact, like the way I wrote that record is I made the harmonies centerpiece. I wanted everything to be based around my harmony parts. The raps, the main melody, everything was based, so the harmonies is what was the like punch of it. And so it gave it this really cool like soundscape that I feel really proud of. Like everybody who's had it has want me to release this record for a long time. And the stuff that I've been like dropping online, where there's just like one verse and I'm just spitting some stuff, that's from that project.
Got you.
Yeah, it's not even released yet. I just want to share with people and let them have a taste of, there's so much to come. I have so much music. I have this record that I did where I was kind of going through like more of an angry period, I guess. So I made a harder edged record that's like, it's pretty hard. And one of these songs, like, it gets political, so I don't put things out like that because I don't really want to add to any temperature, but I needed to vent it. But everybody that hears it is like, this needs to come out in the world now. So you know what I mean? But
do you feel so I guess I have two questions. I want to go back just a little bit.
Sure.
And I was going to ask this when we were talking about Oldominion and specifically Ruben, from what I recall being told. So you talked about going through this spiritual period of your life where you were where you were connecting with the Creator and you were praying. And I always thought that the more that I would listen to Oldominion records, that there was always a bit of a spiritual tinge to it. It
is.
I think talking to Destro, he even said like a lot of people felt like Oldominion was a Christian hip hop group. Or religious hip hop group.
Well, a lot of us are Christian, like myself.
But
we have like Jewish people in our crew. We have Muslim people in our crew. We gathered around like society, spirituality, individuality, and we embraced that with each other. And we started realizing that our ideas were more aligned with each other than they weren't. You know what I mean? So and music gave us the platform to discover that, right? So like, it's all the same. It's all connected. It's all. And for me, I lost my brother Sushanta. He was my business partner when I started this record. So mentally. I had to go through a whole year of a spiral downward. I basically lost everything I had: my house, my belongings, my money, my financial status, my business, like everything, my business partner. And when I started trying to like recover from that, it just led me inward. And I started praying and meditating and praying. And I spent like the better part of like a year healing from that and praying and like taking accountability for my own actions or my own inactions. You know, like I owed people apologies for the way I was moving. Like when I was desperate, like a drowning person will pull people down. I was like borrowing money and not even able to pay somebody back. Like I didn't know what to do with my life, you know, like hit this rock bottom, nowhere to go. And when there's nowhere to go, I say this on my record, you have to take accountability. You know, like I start talking about accountability, like in the song, it's like I'm taking a drug and I'm addicted to it. You know what I mean? That's what I was talking about.
Okay.
Every time I took accountability, I felt a little bit more like myself, a little bit more like, hey, I'm going to get over this hill. And when I started feeling whole, that's when Patrick, like one day, I did not want to go. I was burnt. And he got me in this studio and we recorded the opening track. Like the album is presented exactly how I recorded it. I only swapped 2 songs, and everything else is in the same order. Okay. Because I wanted it to be received the way it came out. Yeah. It was linear. It was a time capsule, and I knew what story I was telling.
You say that on the project.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's the story of it all. So, and for me, it was like picking myself up, putting energy into my movement again, and I'm not a victim. You know, like I'm not a victim, and I'll never be a victim. So I was starting to feel like I was having that victim mentality where I'm just like feeling sorry for myself. And I'm Gen X, like I said, we don't have, and I'm brown, we don't have time to mourn, dude. Like there's no time for brown people to mourn. We have to work to do. We have families to support, and we don't have it made like a lot of people do, you know? So like I'm over there grinding, supporting 7 people, supporting a flock of cats now, which I'm not even a cat person. Like, but they know I'm an ally, and so now I have too many cats. And like I'm going broke feeding them. Like I've chose to feed them sometimes over myself. Like,
bro, we need to
have enough for cat food.
I love cats, bro, but come on, bro. The cats will fend for themselves.
They can go eat mice. Come on. But if they get big enough, I'm gonna end up eating them. They're eating the cats and the dogs, Klyph. I want you to know they are. And his name is Sleep.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. I'm not gonna ever do that. Whoever is like don't have a sense of humor.
So hold up. Let me pull it up, bro. So I asked you when you first let me listen to it. I thought this is dope. And I asked you, and you did, and thank you very much. And you did go old school. And I tell people this all the time. You're in the studio, just go ahead and make me a radio edit, because that's what I do. But you guys went back in and you re-recorded,
because dude, like,
which is so fire to me. Listen. They didn't just beep stuff. Re-recorded,
and we don't rap over our lyrics.
Thank you. Literally just had this conversation.
Sometimes you put your hypes in like a couple harmonies so you can sing along with yourself and you have texture. But come on, take the lead out.
Just
keep
literally
your hypes in there. Keep your ad libs in there.
Come on,
take the lead out. Learn how to project.
You re-recorded Lunchboxing, and had a chance to feature that on the show last night on Welcome to the Neighborhood. Because what I do is when I get a record, I listen through. And I see which track makes me either stop and go back before I keep going, or which one do I go back to. And Lunchboxing was that one, because I feel like
that was one that set it off for us.
In terms of production, who produced the project?
Smoke. It's all done by Smoke.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the whole entire album is done by Smoke.
Shout out to Smoke.
And in fact, a lot of the beats that I was picking like were real time he was making, or they got passed over for like years.
Yeah.
Nobody heard the one that I love the most is Ooh. It has this whistle in it.
Ooh is dope.
But by itself, if you're hearing it, that whistle, I think threw people off, because I passed up on that beat myself.
Yeah.
But I just wanted a vibe.
Yeah.
And we went in, and that's why I talk about my cousin, you know, like Latino here.
Yeah.
So that whistle made me think of my cholo cousin. That's why I'm like, that's my primo chato. Like it's all. Or like those one guys.
So hold on, it's not. Oh yeah, so it's dropping on June the 2nd. There's a couple of joints in here where you have a couple features. Of course, it's a Chicharrones track on here.
Yeah.
You got. I mean, it's out. People can go and it's not out, but people can go and look.
Oh yeah,
at the track
I could say who it is. Yeah, I got a song with Ghostface Killah and Aesop Rock.
Bruh.
Yeah, we named it Animals. Originally, we had it named Gladiators, and that's only because it was when we were typing the names for the name, I just wrote gladiators. Yeah, it just was the first word that popped in my head.
And then I accidentally named it Animals.
And then I was like, I like animals. And he's like, so do I.
Because I did all the scratching for it. So when we talked last time, I hadn't done the scratching for like 3 or 4 songs.
That's right.
Yeah. I was like, I should be doing the scratching in the next couple days or the next week or so. And it was funny because in my head I was panicking. I was still in like panic mode. Like, I'm going to do the scratching in the next couple days. But I was like, am I? Am I going to get this done? I don't know. Like I've been sitting on this stuff for a while. Like that record I've been sitting on for like almost a year. I was supposed to do the scratching, and I just like have been putting it off because it's like too much. It's like such a huge track. It's like Ghostface Killer and Aesop.
We knew what we wanted.
We knew the idea, and I knew it would probably work. But I was also just kind of like freaking out and I put stuff off and procrastinate and like, I'll get to it. Whatever.
The heavier lifting stuff, we'll usually like spend like the very last few days, and we'll just go
grinding out.
Because once you're in that mode, then there's nothing you can't tackle.
Neurodivergent, ADD, autistic, where that thing where we like.
Are we though?
Yeah,
what 100%.
But we have that thing where it's like you put stuff off and you put stuff off to the last minute, and then it forces you to like go into panic mode and get everything done, which I recently learned not everybody does, and is actually like can be detrimental. And I've always viewed it as a superpower, like, I work well under pressure, and it's like, but do you though, or do you just put pressure on yourself by procrastinating, put everything off to the last minute, and then you have to like go and
dysfunction.
Crazy. Yeah, that's 100% what it is. I recently learned about that, and that it's actually a negative thing, but I've always treated it as a positive. But whatever.
Yeah. But I think it's such a dope record.
But we did get all the scratching done, and it turned out super tight. And now the record's done, mixed and mastered, and off to distribution, mastering, manufacturing, and whatever.
And Klyph, and it also awesome. Features Ghostface Killer and Aesop Rock.
Yeah,
bro, that's what I'm saying. Bro,
and
like,
Aesop.
just those
like
three
what?
voices.
Yeah. And they go weird together.
Oh, but that's
Weirdly,
what I was.
They
go perfect together. But that's what I was saying. So then I did the scratching for it, and it's all like animals things. It's like it's that's where the name came from. Was like because after Ghostface, it's like Killer Bees, and then after Aesop, it's Earthworms. His first album was music for Earthworms, and then Sleep, Oldominion, obviously the Owls. And so we put little like clips of like National Geographic stuff. Yeah. Little, and so I just in the email was just like animals, and then Sleep was like, I like that name, animals.
Because this is a NyQuil line.
Yeah,
we are all animals, my lady. Traumathon.
Okay. So the album drops June 2nd, and you've already, I don't know if you mentioned on camera, it says right here, there's vinyl. There's vinyl, there's shirts, there's merch.
There's way more merch than is reflected on that right now. So I actually got a merch deal.
Okay.
From the time I put that up till now, I've been making these little videos with my phone and CapCut. I'm just like over here editing and putting it out because I don't have a face out there anymore, and I never did before. Like I made like one music video for like 4 albums, and like I don't ever put myself on there. I don't care to see myself. And so like people are telling me to engage more, that people want to see my mug, and I put it on there, and everybody's like, I miss you, miss your face. I'm like, okay, here's another one, and it's selling records. People are like buying my records when I do it, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. It's giving me a way to engage. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been like making these videos, and then it started stirring up engagement, which led to a merch deal. So I'm working with this guy. His name's Shane Biddle. He started a merch company. Quell from Typical Cats put me on to him, and he's the guy who he was in the very beginning of like Meow Wolf and stuff. I know that they have their own history. He didn't continue with that company, but he's brilliant, and his visions are big, and he started this dope merch company, which doesn't make me cut corners. Like I'm going to be selling all the spectrum. There's going to be stuff like I'm making regular vinyl too. We're pressing it up right now. It's going to be a regular wax, like nice, not just regular, but like it's not going to be a pop-up book. And then I have like a custom special edition, limited edition pop-up vinyl. When you open it, it's a pop-up book.
Yeah, I've seen some of those.
And now I've been teammate. I've been like teaming up with my buddy from Greece. I was telling you about, and he's like.
Can you talk about this yet?
A tiny bit I can. I won't say names or this and that, but he's a giant textile guy, and he prints light, and so he is going to be adding this into all my gear, like fibers that glow. I can like, what I'm gonna do is make shirts and then give them apps to, you could make it go with your fit, like, you know what I mean? So change the color up, like, dude, so and it doesn't have to glow. Like, you can use these soft sort of luminescent lights that look just regular. And so I want things like touch the vinyl, it turns color. Your shirt, you can pick what vibe you want. It matches your shoes. Because I'm a sneakerhead. So like you want your stuff to, your fits to be dope. And so it'll give you the ability to do that via app. And it goes along with the print. It's like literally inside the print. You can do it on posters. Like he has posters like that come to life, and it's insane. And the lights last over 100 years. And this tech that he's letting me use is like 17 years old, and he told me that he wants to give me some tech that won't even be out in the public for 15 years, dude. I'm gonna make some of the illest stuff ever.
That's amazing, bro.
Yes, and that's all I want to do. I want to give people dope stuff. I'm a collector, and I like collecting things and things that I love. And hopefully, there's people that love my music enough to want to collect pieces of it, of the history. You know, like I love some pretty obscure groups. I love everybody from like Rakim, to Flight of the Conchords. Like in fact, Flight of the Conchords, I would probably drop everything, including the interview and my album release party. If they came to town and were doing a show on the same day, I would miss my record release party.
That was one of the things we connected with when we first met and started touring and stuff, was nerding out on Flight of the Conchords. Like when we first started touring and stuff, this is like when that first came out, and we just were on a whole Flight of the Conchords wormhole.
Because they remind me of the Chicharrones, a folk version of us. They even kind of look like us, you know what I mean? Like I'm like Jermaine, goofy, like big nose, like you know what I mean? Your grill, and then you have Maddie, he's like Brett, kind of like dainty.
Oh my God. Okay. So listen.
I'm just joking.
Listen. We definitely, we barely scratched the surface, but I want to take a moment.
Always happens.
I want to take a moment because you're talking about merch. I want to take a moment to talk about a new project that is dropped or about to drop.
Are we talking about Seasons?
Well, no, Seasons dropping.
No. I think he's trying to give you some.
Baby.
Oh, yeah. Watch it. I am. So I've kind of like officially put it out there a little bit. I dropped my watch line at Concuss, and I did like a limited edition run with them, like Concuss stuff, and then I have like some stuff that I've been putting out there, and I purposely kind of I don't want it to get too overwhelming too quickly. And so I purposely have been kind of taking it slow and not like putting too much stuff out there, because I know it's one of those things that as soon as it gets too big, I'm going to get too many orders and I'm going to hate it. And it's going to like turn into that thing where it's like, oh, it's a thing.
But he doesn't have to worry, because I'm his manager. I take only 90%.
There you go. That's how you do it.
I give him 10%.
Exactly.
Like,
then I have to keep doing it. No, but but so far,
speaking of,
right.
We out of here.
Wrap it up, buddy.
So far, this is a thing that started as a hobby, and I've been really enjoying it, and it's been fun. I'm a little baby horologist, just learning how to build watches.
That's so
and
crazy.
It's an interesting thing, because it started I don't know, around the beginning of the year. Basically, I was trying to get a knockoff Rolex. This is where it all started. Was I have been kind of hearing about the super clones that are coming out of China and what's happening. The Rolex super clones, China's crushing it right now. They're like they're kind of scaring the Swiss watch companies right now, because they're getting so good. Like the days of the $20 Canal Street Rolex that breaks after 2 months is over, and they're making like 1-to-1.
It's over?
Yeah. They're making like 1-to-1 exact replicas of like Rolex. They're doing the movements and everything, where you can replace parts of the movement with actual Rolex parts, and it all works because it's like 1-to-1 clones. And so I was like, okay, I want to get like a Rolex super clone. So I saw this thing come up in my Instagram, And I ordered a watch. There was like a sale, normally $700, and it was on sale for $200. And I was like, and I was like in the middle of a session, so I didn't have a chance to like go into it and research it the way I normally would. And I just was like, all right, I'm just gonna buy it. And I like bought it, and then they didn't send me a follow-up email or any kind of confirmation or tracking number or anything. And I was like, I got ripped off by this Instagram company, but I did it through PayPal, so I wasn't really tripping because they're good about like refunding you if you get ripped off, stuff like that. Turns out I didn't actually get ripped off. It just went to my junk box and I didn't see it. But in that time period where I thought I got ripped off, that led me down the wormhole of like, okay, where do I actually go to get a good Rolex clone? And then as I got deeper into it, I was reading Reddit stuff and different things, and then at a certain point I was like, do I really want a Rolex clone, or am I just like into mechanical watches? I just like tight mechanical watches. I don't really need to have it. People who know me know I don't have a $90,000 watch. Like they, I'm not trying to flex on people and make them think I have a Rolex when I don't. I'm just like, I'm into mechanical watches. I'm into the fact that like,
it's real.
Yeah, but I'm into real. Like building. I'm into the fact that like this is a thing that is just gears and springs, and there's no battery, and it's powered by you moving your wrist and self-winds itself and is accurate to within half a second a day. That's bonkers to me. That's always been something that I've been like super interested in, just the mechanics of how it all works. And so as I got deeper into it, I realized like, oh, I can get all these parts myself and like build something that is like super custom that nobody has. And I don't really need to get a Rolex. I can just like build my own watch that nobody has, that's super tight, that like, and so this is the watch that started it all, that kind of was what I had in my head that I knew nobody made, is I wanted like a pink Guilloche dial with a super sharp Grand Seiko hands and a baby blue seconds hand. And
layman stuff. Everybody know that stuff.
Everybody know that stuff. So I knew that didn't exist, and so I got all the parts and I built it for myself. And then people liked it and wanted me to build them one, and so then I built a watch for one of the homies, and then Mike D heard about it, and then he kind of pushed me to make it into like a company. And then before I knew it, I had like barely built 2 watches, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I guess I have a watch company now?
So he started backstepping. Like, I don't want a watch company.
I don't want all of this stuff. This is a little much, but I do. And so now I have a watch company, and I built 22 watches in the past 2 months.
That's crazy.
And it's just like a thing I've been learning. And
what's the name of the company?
Timizone, or Time Zone. But Timizone is how it's pronounced. So
but
like
don't
Versace
do that.
or something like that, where you're like, oh yeah, it's
Josh Martinez bought a watch just so he could hear Zone say Timizone.
Timizone. It's pronounced Timizone. It's like that scene from Showgirls where it's like, oh, I got a Versace. It's pronounced.
You know what it reminds me of is Young Frankenstein. Frankenstein. Frankenstein.
I just want that. I want a thing where it's like the people in the know, and then you can like fake look down on people like, oh, you're a commoner, said Time Zone. It's actually Timizone.
So it's available right now. You have some at Concuss right now?
Yeah, for sure. So I have.
Shout out to Concuss. I haven't even been over there yet.
Go to Concuss.
Concuss store is super awesome. It's on Sandy.
Mike Fox killed that.
We recently did the soft opening. They're about to do the hard opening as soon as all the paperwork goes through with the government. They're trying to do a day where they can like shut the street down, and we have like a big show and like do a whole thing, and they're waiting for all the permits and stuff to go through. So whenever that happens, we're gonna do the hard opening. And like,
I don't know if we'll call it that.
It's gonna be hella hard. It's gonna be a hella hard opening.
Grand opening.
Grand opening.
It's gonna be the hella hard opening.
Anything else?
No, but
the hardcore opening.
It's gonna be a hard opening. No,
I told him he should have done the super soft opening. That would have been way tighter. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
But we did the soft opening a bit ago, and I stayed up for 4 days and got all the watches done the night of before.
And brought me nicotine as a friendship token in between all of that.
It was a crazy week. Like, I really pushed myself a little too far the whole week leading up to the soft opening. And but yeah, I got everything done and got stuff in there. And so stuff's available there in person. And then you can like hit me up and do like custom stuff. But yeah, I've been making watches, and they're real mechanical automatic watches, not some Mickey Mouse quartz watches with the battery. This is like stuff that will last the rest of your life. You can pass to your great grandkids.
In regards to sleepable Dominion, no soft openings.
Okay.
I have no soft openings.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
I want that to be known.
1,000%.
MC.
Okay, listen, y'all. Once again, so a couple things that y'all need to be mindful of. Seasons is the new record from Sleep that's going to be dropping on June 2nd.
No, it actually drops June 11th.
June 11th.
I've been putting her right. Let me air out the confusion. This is perfect.
Okay.
So on Bandcamp, which I'm releasing it on Bandcamp for the first time ever.
Okay.
I'm not. I have a distro.
On Bandcamp Friday or what?
Well, it's gonna come out June 11th. I just picked that date arbitrarily when I first did it. It was just a random date.
Okay.
That was a Tuesday or Thursday. I was following,
old school.
Tradition here. Mm-hmm. But my birthday is June 2nd, and so Bandcamp won't let you do it 3 months in advance. So I must have done it 3 months on the 2nd because that was the latest that I could do it.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is make my record release the 11th and a listening party on the 2nd, but I'll probably give everybody the download on the 2nd just so they can have it. It's not going to kill it. Like the 11th is just like when everybody can start ordering the physical and buy it real time and have the whole record. If it's up to me, I would just give it away, in which I'm actually developing a way to do that with my music. So I don't even know if I should say this publicly. I'll probably keep this one low, but I have been developing something with my team. It's an idea I have because I don't think art, it makes me feel weird selling my art. It always has. I love giving it to people. I make it so I could have it and so other people have it, and I always feel like selling things makes it cheaper, so I want my art to be authentic, but I need to make money and support my family. So I figured out a clever way to make the music earn for my customers, not in a typical fashion either. It's it's pretty unique.
Okay.
And using that tech I was telling you about, I'm pretty sure I can make it so my albums eventually become free for everybody as they listen to them. Basically, I want it to mine crypto. And then as soon as it pays itself back, then it redirects to the artists and it gets spread amongst everybody, the artists, so they could have residual income. That's what I wanted to do. And then at that point there was an exchange. I got money. Everybody continued to grow, but my fans didn't have to spend a single dollar to do it. You know what I mean? And I think that would be cool. So I've been trying to work out some tech that does that, and we're getting pretty close. But
until figure that part out, go buy the album.
Yeah, support y'all.
Spend your money and buy the album, the physical, and get yourself a hoodie and a t-shirt.
Yeah, we got bundles. I have so much dope gear. There's a cassette tape that we're doing now. We have a CD. We have 2 different vinyls. We have the collectible one that's limited edition and a regular vinyl, both full-length albums. We're going to be dropping a single here shortly. Originally I was going to make it EU, but I think Lunchboxing might be the one, man. Because I gotten good feedback from it, and it was actually the song that set off this whole record's vibe. I went in there more the first songs, they start out kind of you feel that weight of it. I got that weight off my shoulders. And then went into Lunchboxing, and then once I hit Lunchboxing, that was it
cracked something.
It cracked something, a code in my head that I wanted to I want to make a record. I knew what the vibe of my record was after that song. So, really proud of this album. And if you guys do go and support it, it really helps me. I don't spend the money on dumb stuff. I have 4 children and a grandkid, and I support all of that. I've been for 20 plus years holding down my family, and that's all I do is take care of my family.
Yeah.
I don't even have a bad habit. I couldn't afford a bad habit. I say since Christopher, I've been trying to get a bad habit. Yeah. You know what I mean? I said, I wish they sold 40s at the dollar store so I could have a bad habit that I can't afford. You know what I mean? Like, still.
Yeah. Well,
like, to this day.
That's what keeps you continuing to make art at the level that you're making.
You stay hungry. You know what I'm saying? Literally.
1,000%. Yeah.
You literally stay hungry. And you'll never give up. Like when everything that you love depends on that being a thing, that's motivation for you. And I will literally drive across the country to make $100 if that's what it took. I mean, if it made sense economically, obviously. I wouldn't literally drive across the country for $100. So don't even try it.
But we have.
I'm just kidding. But we have. We have in the past.
100% have done that.
Yeah, we have.
Listen, I know for all those who saw that this interview was coming up, that there were so many things that I even alluded to that we didn't even touch on. So we will come back and dive even further.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I could do a whole podcast just on watches. I go into the history of that, the way
I'm sure
the history
the
of
hip hop community would love that.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. It's like there's so many different things. We could go on this for weeks.
Yeah.
See, I want to come in here and do a whole podcast on bonsais. My bonsai trees.
Yeah.
I want to tell you their names and everything about everyone.
So there are many podcasts out there that you tune in and hear Sleep talk about bonsai trees,
all the hobbies,
and you will hear Zone talk about watches.
If you beatbox the plants, they grow healthy and strong, and then they serve sucker plants. You know what I mean?
Okay. Sleep. If people are trying to stay connected with you, we want to make sure that they're up on the when and the what. What's the easiest and most direct way for people to do it?
Right now, my social media is like Sleep SFR, the Strange Famous Records, if to know what that means. But Sleep SFR on Twitter, Sleep SFR on TikTok. I think I'm Sleep SFR pretty much across the board now, except for Facebook, where I'm Sleep of Oldominion.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to keep people on that page and off my personal page because I want to eventually be able to put pictures and be like, I'm proud of my kids, without weirdos stalking them. My son Cross, the rock star.
It's tough though.
I want to shout this out. This is what I'm the most excited and proud about. My son Cross, you're gonna see this, I'm sure, little buddy. Him and my other adopted son Jade, they have a band called IBS, Inevitable Bowel Syndrome. And they are throwing IBS Fest today at Lewitt Park.
That's so dope.
And from here, I'm going to go there and watch my kid shred. He is so amazing. We knew he was special since he was little. He started reading when he was 1.5.
Wow.
And could use the computer by the time he was 2, and could spell better than us by the time he was 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And now he plays all the instruments better than us, and he knows how to record himself. And he just graduated. Tony Ozier, shout out Tony.
Shout out to
that's my brother, Tony Ozier. One of the best human beings on the planet. I love this 100%. Man. He plays bass in Chicharrones, but we're blessed to I'm blessed to just say, hey, that's my bass player, because that's Tony Ozier. He's the man.
To play bass on Warped Tour.
Just to be in our band and be part of it and help me. He's my brother.
Keys in the band. And then our bass player couldn't go on tour with us. And then Tony was like, you need a bass player more than you need a keyboard player. So I'll just learn how to play bass on Warped Tour in the middle of a tour.
He's one of the main engineers over there at Nike Bodecker.
Yep.
And they have this program where they have these cohorts, and they get to learn audio engineering and production and everything music. So, and writing, because I went to his award ceremony yesterday. So he graduated from the program yesterday. He was bumming, but man, they got a $500 check. He got equipment, and a lot of knowledge. So so it's really dope to see him doing the same things, but better. He's gonna be a better interviewer than me. I'm well versed in a lot of things, but I am not a master of. I don't know to the extent of that he does. He deep dives things so deep, and he knows so much, and his knowledge is so vast that he's going to be the ultimate interviewer. He could tell you about every band, every member, every replacement, every single, every fake song. I didn't even know about the Ruddles. You know about the Ruddles? Yeah, I didn't either till the other day. There was a a mockumentary done by the Monty Python guys picking on the Beatles, and they're called the Ruddles. And
How did I not know about that?
I mean, neither. And we know everything like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
He's turning me on to stuff, and it's hilarious. And these songs are great. And he's like, dude, the Ruddles. No, we're like Ruddles fans.
Well, now I got a new wormhole to find.
Yeah, look it up. It's anybody. Yeah. It was a mockumentary done by the same people who do Monty Python, and it's about like the Beatles, but they even get people like Mick Jagger, and you can tell they're telling Beatles stories, but they're calling them the Ruddles. You know what I mean? It's pretty hilarious. So, anyways, my son Cross, I'm very proud of you. If you do see this, and you too, Jade, y'all are dope. And IBS is, I mean, my kid's gonna be a legend. I'm watching it happen. He plays every instrument, and he's good at every instrument. Like, not even... He already played at Dookie Jam with Tony Ozier and got his first paycheck doing it. Then he went there to just go, like, vibe with them, and then the guitarist couldn't make it. So Tony was like, you want to fill in? He never played jazz. He was only in heavy metal at that time. But he learned, like, improvised jazz with them and funk and soul. And so Tony ended up giving him $50 for the show, and it was the first time he got paid for his show.
That's what's up.
Plus, he sells his music online. But he's too young to have a bank account, so I think he's just stacking bread, and we don't even know it. I don't know what he's gonna do. He's gonna take over.
You gotta be proud, bro. You gotta be proud.
Oh yeah.
And then Zone for you, bro. If people want to tap in.
Yeah, I'm at the DJ Zone on Instagram and stuff like that. Zone 444 on certain things, or Zone PDX. I don't know what I am. It's the DJ Zone on most stuff.
Yeah, look up the DJ Zone. That's the only way you're gonna find him. He's very difficult.
I'm hard.
He has like something under his real name.
Zone, we're both like the most generic names are hard to Google.
But together, Sleep and Zone.
Sleep and Zone.
And we only have to compete against Sleep Zone, which is pretty easy.
I was going to say, you got to Sleep Zone. So for Zone, right here, Sloth City Studios.
Sloth City Studios.
Book studio time here, maybe, unless you booked out.
Or I'm on tour.
But
yeah.
We're talking about that.
Yeah,
sorry,
we're going to go on tour.
You're about to go on tour.
Yes, we are.
Like for 2 years.
Yeah, we're gonna be on the road for a long time after this one. The better part of the year for sure.
All the things.
We're leaving in June, starting in California, and then we're doing the whole United States, Canada, Europe, Japan, Australia, South Africa, Colombia, Peru, Chile. I want to get Costa Rica, but I don't know anybody there yet. So anybody in Costa Rica, holler at your boy. Mexico City, and then home. So we have our work cut out.
Wow.
Yeah,
so you be able to catch these cats on the road.
Yeah. Catch us outside.
Oh my Lord!
Catch me outside.
So then when he gets back,
you can catch us
book,
outside.
You the studio.
Cash us outside. I'll give you a CD.
Sloth City with Zone. You can cop a watch either at Concuss here in Portland. And Concuss, I gotta pull up on y'all and actually meet. Like I don't even know cats over there yet.
You don't. You got to know Mike Fox. So Mike Fox is my big homie since I was like 19 years old.
Okay, word.
He's a Seattle head. Well, he's an actual Oregon head. I met in Seattle.
Yeah.
And he's always been in the mix. You probably have met him and don't know it's him.
I have a horrible memory.
He's
one of those dudes though. He's like the salesman of salesmen. He's like the fast talking sales guy.
Pretty likely to punch you in your head.
Yeah, totally.
That's not a bad combination.
He's like Quill. Like Quill was like, book our show or we're coming for you. That's how good we are. Promoter, sorry about Quill saying that to you, but he means it.
He probably would do it.
Book us, call me.
Check out Concuss, buy a watch, buy an album, book studio time. There's so many ways to support and build community. And that's really what it's
I think that's
about.
what we should do. Support. Not just us and our project, but each other and your neighbors and old people and young people. We got to start working as a community again, and we got to build a scene back up. There's no scene anymore. You got to build every scene in every city back up from ground zero. And then that way we have the vessel to get each other on the road. People don't need to know who you are because there's already a weekly there you can plug into, and that's what gave us power in the first place. We need to recapture that so that young people are going to have an outlet and a lane that isn't so detached. You need to get out there in person, see each other, shake hands. If you saw half these people that are blowing up, some of them are pretty corny in real life, I bet, and some people that are getting overlooked are probably pretty dope. So go get this thing moving, make it real life, get kinetic. we got to put our phones down and screens down, and that's what I mean. Even though that's the only way you're going to get this record, so at least spend a couple minutes on.
Or pull up to VST, a vinyl store tour, and come to a local record shop and get the vinyl in person to a local record store, support local businesses. See, there's all kinds of ways that we can build community and support.
Yeah.
Fellas, thank y'all so much for doing this.
Thank you, Klyph.
I'm putting it out there right now. I would love to do a part 2.
I want to do a part 2. We're barely scratching the surface. There's so much history that we talked about.
I didn't talk at all on this, which is great. I wanted Sleep to really get in.
I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't say you didn't talk at all, bro.
A little bit. I had some things, but you.
I'm a talker. Hey, I'm an MC. I'm supposed to.
I wanted to sit back for the most part.
Episode. But even with that, there's so much more that I want to talk about in terms of the history of Portland hip hop, which is really the foundation for so much what I do with Klyph Works. So thank y'all. We're gonna figure out probably when you get back in town when we can do a part 2. Thank you guys, man.
We can do it before 2. Like, honestly,
no, we can't. I don't have time for that.
No, Klyph, really, we can.
Nope, really can't do it.
No, I promise.
Nope, not gonna happen. June the 1st, Roads and Bridges Radio. You see it right here. It's gonna jump off. You will be able to hear Lunchboxes. Actually, if you know, you could actually hear it right now, but you don't know how to listen to the radio station yet. But it's on the radio station right now, so you can check out Lunchboxing from Seasons from
And
Sleep.
he's the only one who's playing it. I literally gave Klyph exclusives because you are my friend. Like at the beginning when you said you think we're friends, bro, we're friends.
That's love, bro. I appreciate that.
And same with everybody. Like this scene is comprised of my friends. People. Maybe I don't know how to see it otherwise, but like I see people as my family. The hip hop, the Northwest hip hop community is my family. They're my friends. They're the people I care about. I know some of us are old, some of us are young. Let's just figure out how to build something. If it's us helping the younger people, then let's do that. If
it's happening. It is.
And if they want to raise us up again, like let's go. I'm ready to hit the road and do the dance, do the thing. So
no doubt, man. So we're gonna we'll definitely be connecting again. Support. You've already heard all the ways to support. Check out the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or at klyphnotes.com. Check me out every Saturday night on X-Ray FM, Welcome to the Neighborhood. Every fourth Sunday, check me out at No Requests with DJ Ambush. Once again, man, thank you so much to District 9 for pulling up and capturing the video for this one, man. This was going to be really, really special for y'all to dig in and enjoy. And then, man, just love on one another, man. The world is crazy right now, but love on one another, support one another. And until we have an opportunity to do this again, y'all be blessed. Peace.
And don't love too hard on one another. Just enough. Sorry, man. I don't know.